The community has spoken, and we have our top maps. We have canon maps and free maps on official Ark. Coming up in last place on the canon maps is good old Scorched Earth. This map is a barren desert with some tough dinos. As a standalone survival map, I think it fares pretty well. It has a very high difficulty for starting out at level 1 and takes a while to work your way up. But like most maps, once you tame a good high-level Thylo, RG, or Rex, the map has very little challenges. It was the first map to introduce wyverns and phoenixes, which were well received. Scorched Earth also has sandstorms that make it almost impossible to do anything outside of your base for about 10 minutes at a time. And then it has thunderstorms which can turn off all of your defenses for about 10 minutes as well. If that wasn't enough, there are heat waves that kill you super fast and last a while. During these heat waves, the phoenix will come out and you can try and tame it. But these weather events can completely shut down your progress until they are over and make PvP more challenging. The lack of dino variety, base spots, and the weather issues may be why Scorched Earth has landed in last place. Next up is Extinction. This map introduced a whole lot of fantasy elements and new ways to play Ark. To earn blueprints and items, we can activate supply drops and fight off the waves of dinos to earn loot. Or if you wanted, take the loot from those that just completed a supply drop. Instead of fighting bosses for element, we could fight waves of enemies around element veins. The map introduced us to snow owls, mechs, titans, manas, gasbags, scouts, defense units, enforcers, and gotchas. Extinction by far introduced more creatures than any other DLC. It is probably so low on the list due to the lack of base spots and how flat the map is. The map's terrain is not all that interesting. It did allow for some testing of potential mechanics for Ark 2 though, letting wildcard see what worked and what didn't and the issues that arose from the mechanics. Coming in at number 3 is the Island. By far one of my favorite maps, the Island offers a wide variety of dinos and base building locations. The island has an open sandbox progression where you start out near some dinos that you can handle and a small amount of resources, and as you get dinos and gear and become stronger, you can adventure inland and through caves, gaining access to better dinos, resources, and gear. The bosses are quite a challenge, and when you have mastered the bosses of the island, you can travel through the Ascension Cave and fight the Overseer, where you can get an idea of what is actually going on in Ark. I believe Island could move to a higher rank if it just had higher level dinos like the other maps and a few more caves designed for bases. In second place, we have Genesis 1 and 2. Gen 2 won in the vote to decide which map is better, Gen 1 or 2, but unfortunately there are only 5 options when voting. It is possible Gen 1 may be liked even less than Scorched Earth, but I'm not sure. Gen 1 introduced us to quite a few new mechanics and ways to play Ark. It has a lot of unbuildable areas to keep players from blocking the minigames or cheesing the minigames, along with making teleport areas bannable for building in. So base spots are very limited, and luckily they changed that with Genesis 2. Instead of having specific places you go to play a specific minigame, they just let you play them all from one terminal, and place plenty of terminals around the map so that no area is unbuildable. This has some hilarious for some, detrimental for other side effects. If you built a base somewhere near a game terminal, you could have a hunt mission go right through your base, so you could have a Ferox, a Vonosaur, and so on spawn in your base and kill all your dinos. Gen 2 introduced us to some interesting dinos that reshaped the game. Need to farm anything? Just grab the Strider. The Noglin and Voidworm allow for all kinds of strategies in PvP. Then there's the ever-rotating Space Biome, where every day, so 1 hour, new resources spawn. Gen 2 being the final canon map in Ark 1, well, like Extinction, we think it's the final canon map. If Ark 2 is delayed again, we may get another canon map to help fund the creation of Ark 2, so we'll have to wait and see. Gen 2 is lacking in locations for decent bases, but with the free tech suit and ability to use it without the engrams or element and the ability to quickly farm hex points, it is one of the top maps. The map that won top place out of all the canon maps is, of course, Aberration. This map has the most noticeable progression path in it for those that enjoy the survival aspect of the game. It has some decent base locations and even more hiding places. This map introduced us to the Nameless and the idea that there are more alien species out there in the Ark universe. We got the Rock Drake and the Reaper, which quickly became players' favorite dinos. Aberration offers a challenge to every player regardless of experience. The variety of biome and interesting terrain make for an exciting adventure. It is no wonder Aberration is the community's favorite canon map, but is it the community's favorite official map? Let's find out. There are non-canon maps that are free DLCs, but are still official maps. Coming in 5th place for the free maps, Lost Island and Center tied. With Lost Island being a new map with some interesting new creatures, I thought it would be higher on the list. The map is fairly large and has a variety of biomes, but I guess they do feel a little like copy-pasted biomes we have all seen before. While the map has some interesting base build locations, nothing on it seems strong enough to be of any use on PvP. The new dino Lost Island introduced were neat, but the passive taming can be very rough. Being complicated to tame and adding little value into the PvP meta, the dinos fell out of favor pretty quick, so I can definitely see why this new map would fall to the bottom. The Center tying for last place though, that was a little surprising. The Center, while it does not offer anything new as far as dinos go, it does offer higher level dinos and the same variety as the island. It is a huge map with several interesting biomes to explore. There's no real progression apparent on the Center though. Center has some of the best base locations for PvP in the game. The bosses are fairly easy, so getting tech engrams and element on Center can be done early game. Being the oldest free map though, with no unique dino, I can see why it would fall out of favor. Coming in 4th place by just a hair is Valguero. This map almost tied for last. Valguero offers some interesting biomes and tried to incorporate Aberration into its map. It did offer us the new dino, the Deinonychus, which allows us to destroy bosses and make easy exceptional kibble. The PvP base locations on Val are lacking though. The map, while looking nice and being fun to explore for the first time, quickly loses replayability. The best thing about this map is the Deinonychus, and the easy to beat dragon boss. Coming in 3rd place, we have the Crystal Isles. This map is very large and offers a lot to explore. Along with a new type of dragon, the map also offered a new boss that has some fun mechanics and feels more like a boss fight. There are several okay base spots on Crystal Isles and many hiding places. If you enjoy the ocean, this map has a large ocean which allows those with vacuum chambers to hide fairly well on the map. Crystal Isles is fun to explore and a great survival map. Coming in 2nd place is Ragnarok. No surprise here, this map has a variety of fun to explore biomes and terrain, along with a ton of base spots. While most are not great for PvP, new players and PvE players love the base spots. The map looks great and has higher level wyverns than Scorched Earth, making the grind to get a good wyvern less. The map, like all other free maps, has higher level dinos overall, and they are super easy to find, making it a great map to start out on while getting your base tames going. There are plenty of easily accessed resources on the map and several places to stay hidden at. And of course, in number 1 is Ark's newest addition, Fjordor. This map, while on the smaller size, and maybe because of the smaller size, generated a lot of fun early game PvP. It has several unique and interesting biomes, along with 3 more small maps attached to it. You can get to them via teleporting. It also has a great boss progression system. Ark players seem to really enjoy progression systems combined in with the open sandbox survival aspect, which is why Aberration and Fjordor won their respective categories. Fjordor is a beautiful, well-done map that will give you tons of survival hours. Its PvP base spots are not as good as other maps, but are not that bad either. Along with a new, unique boss, Fenrir, Fjordor comes with some fun and interesting tames. The Fjordhawk, the Andrewsarchus, and the Desmodus. There are also a ton of fun caves to explore, along with some not-so-subtle tributes to Lord of the Rings, making this one of the community's most favorite maps. But which map, out of all official maps, takes home the prize as number 1? Well, Gen 2, Fjordor, Ragnarok, and Aberration were all runners-up for the number 1 place. But Aberration came in 2nd place, just right on the heels of the number 1 map. And the number 1 map was Fjordor. Ragnarok came in 4th and Gen 2 in 3rd. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button. Have an awesome day.